All right, so I have quite the video for you today, and it's a reaction video to a story coming out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it has to do with a landlord who is being taken to court by a tenant due to the fact that the tenant was evicted because the landlord wasn't keeping the property in good shape. Now, this sounds like, hey, this is a slumlord. They're not doing the things they're supposed to be doing, right? But there's more to the story. I'm gonna get into it as we get into the video. But before I get into the video, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of all of the reaction videos that I'm about to start making, okay? Do you like the idea of making more reaction videos, me reacting to videos about what's going on with landlords? If you do, put a comment in the comment section down below and let's get into it. So this video is actually coming from KCRG9abc.com, and it says, tenant forced out of his apartment takes landlord to court. And I'll put a link to the article in the description below. I just wanted to tell you where the link would lead to, and let's get into this video.
Today, a man kicked out of his apartment because the city declared it uninhabitable confronted his former landlord in court.
The city of Cedar Rapids is fighting for her to get multiple properties back up to code. KCRG TV9's Lacey Reeves has been digging into the issue and joins us with today's court hearing.
Beth, Danielle, this all started in March when Darius Franklin called TV9 to tell us the city was about to kick out everyone in his apartment building, all because the landlord, Bridget Toingar, hadn't kept up with maintenance.
So one of the big issues that a lot of, especially small mom and pop landlords have, is making sure that all of the maintenance issues are handled, especially when we're talking about, hey, interest rates have been rising. If you have to refinance your property recently, you might be paying significantly more on the loan than what you were paying when you first purchased the property. Not to mention insurance costs have increased, taxes have increased. You know, like when I tell people that we need to be able to raise the rent every single year, I am not joking around. So another issue that she might be having is that she has a lot of tenants in there who are probably not paying the rent. Okay, so I mean, if you're not getting paid the rental income is what we use to make the repairs to the property. Don't imagine that she is just saying, hey, you know what, screw it, I'm just not gonna make the repairs because I'm an evil person. No, that's not the way it works. Okay, now let's keep going with this video.
This placard went up, meaning Darius couldn't live there anymore. He sued Toingar, and today he got his day in court. In a Linn County courtroom, Darius Franklin recalled finding out he was about to be homeless.
They said due to numerous code issues, but I think more notably it was for the septic, just something from the solution.
For over a month, Franklin says he's been...
So right there, you know, he said something right there, you know, like septic issues, especially when we're talking about apartment buildings. I mean, I imagine, so Cedar Rapids, Iowa, you know, if this is a more rural area where these apartments are located at and they have their own like giant septic tank, it could be extremely expensive to get it fixed or to get it replaced. So I imagine that this isn't necessarily an issue of she not wanting to do the repairs. It's just she literally cannot do it. Now, oh man, this is part of the reason why I always say you should have large enough emergency reserves available for if some big, huge repair like this happens, because I could imagine having to literally refinance the place in order to pay for expensive enough repairs. And that would only make the problem worse, because then you would even have more trouble making the payments. You know, like it's a cycle. You know, that's why some landlords, they end up losing their properties. And I had a lot of repairs back in 2023 on the duplexes that I owned in the Kansas City area, and there were so many repairs, so many problems. That's what actually led me to sell them. Okay, I was forced to sell them, otherwise I wouldn't have been, I mean, I would have been upside down so bad that it would have put my personal finances at risk.
Staying at a hotel at $70 a night. He's suing his landlord, Bridget Toingar, asking a judge to force her to make repairs so he can move back in. But that's more than just fixing the sewer. The city of Cedar Rapids says all 30 code violations need to be fixed before anyone can live in the building. Twangar says her issue, she can't afford it all.
My issue is money. If I have money, none of those things would not be fixed. I'm fixing small by small and I'll get through it and get done.
What has delayed you from?
So right there, she said it herself. She just doesn't have the money, okay? She doesn't have the money. You can fine her all you want. You can demand that she fix stuff all you want. If she doesn't have the money to make the repairs, there's nothing that can be done. Now, my suggestion would be for her, it sounds like her financial situation is pretty dire right now, okay? Sell. You have to sell them. You have to get rid of these places and, cut your losses right now. Otherwise, your personal finances will be screwed, I hate seeing this sort of thing. I really do, because I could imagine it having happened to me. And part of the reason like I said before, part of the reason I sold my properties was because I saw the same thing happening to me. I saw rising interest rates, I saw rising expenses, and there was no end in sight. And I was like, hey, I'm just gonna keep pouring money into this until it bankrupts me. And I did not want that to happen. So instead, I sold the properties and cut my losses right there. And now hopefully someone else is having a better time with those properties that I sold. It sucks. I'm still a landlord. I still own my single family homes here in Omaha, but I wanted to build a giant property empire and it didn't work out. Okay. That's unfortunate. Maybe eventually I'll go back to, trying to expand again, but we're in a different market than we were when I started purchasing in the first place. Interest rates were a lot higher, properties were a lot less available. It takes a lot more to find a good deal now, and it just, being so different from where I started, I don't know if I will be able to ever get up to being a huge mega landlord like I had dreamed of becoming, okay?
Seeking an estimate on what it would take to fix these problems.
Because when somebody comes, you have to be able to pay them to do the job.
For an estimate?
Yes.
Why doesn't Twangar have the money? She says it's because tenants like Franklin had not been paying rent.
One person doesn't pay and call them, hey, don't pay the rent.
Something Twangar confronted Franklin about.
When was the last time you paid your rent?
I would have to say probably within the last year and a half, okay.
And there we go. Okay, now the truth comes out, okay? We have a tenant who was living in their unit who hadn't paid rent in a year and a half. Why doesn't this lady have enough money to make the repairs? How many other tenants in the apartment building were doing the same thing? Why was she even allowing that, okay? I don't know. Okay, this is a lot of questions I'm asking. And the only thing I can say is that she has to do what's best for her right now. Okay, she's facing a lot of scrutiny from the city. She's facing multiple lawsuits, and her finances could be upside down. Sell now. That's my advice, okay? What do you think, though? Okay, you guys are landlords, too. Go ahead and put a comment in the comment section down below.